Full cards and hockey. Can I play?
It's early November. The air is cool and the scenery spectacular here at the base of Mount Monadnock. Hello everybody, I'm Gene Lavanchy and welcome to this week's edition of New England Golf Magazine. We're in Jaffrey, New Hampshire at New England's toughest golf course, the Shattuck Inn. Ahead on today's show, Pembroke Country Club head pro Chip Johnson will tell you why you should always have identifying marks on your golf ball. Resident golf pro Lyman Doan will demonstrate how to play the short but deadly 13th hole at the Shattuck Inn. Bob Halloran will sneak a peek into what it's like to be a member at the prestigious country club in Brookline. And Paul Harber's Pinpoints will take you to the Montop Country Club in Rhode Island, where they're serious about their golf. Dead serious. But first, a look at this week's club, called the Monster in the Mountains, the Shattuck Inn. Just how tough is it? Imagine this. When the New Hampshire Golf Association tried to rate this course for difficulty, it fed all of the figures into a computer to get a slope rating. However, the computer program crashed because the slope rating was off the scale. The numbers had to be sent to the United States Golf Association's supercomputer in Far Hills, New Jersey. It came up with a slope rating of 143, the highest of any public course in New England. So what does it all mean? Well, the average course has a rating of about 116, and easy courses rate around 100. Now, Lyman Doan has been the head professional here at the Shattuck Inn since it opened 3 years ago. And Lyman, what is it that makes this course so difficult?
Gene, I'd have to tell you, what makes it difficult is we have 16 water holes out of the 18 holes that we have. The property has 33 bridges on it, which bring you from one teeing area to the fairway to the green. And probably the hardest thing that we have here is that there are no roughs, very little landing areas, and it's pretty much target golf.
Well, the ball concession here must be astronomical.
Makes my winters in Florida a lot easier.
All right, Lyman, thank you very much. Coming up in just a moment, we'll try to tame this monster in the mountain, and we'll find out why it's important to put an identifying mark on your golf ball. Welcome back, folks. We're joined once again by Lyman Doan, the head golf professional here at the Shattuck Inn. And right now, we're on the 13th tee. It's a 303-yard par 4. It's called Temptation. And I guess that name is an apt name when you consider the various ways you might be able to play this hole, right, Lyman?
Correct, yeah. You've got a couple of ways you can play the golf hole. It sets up pretty much with the rest of the holes that you've played to get to this point. You have water left, you have bunkers down the whole right side of the fairway at the landing area. A very tight area to hit into with the green. You only have approximately 238 yards to get down to the green itself from the teeing area. And say you're coming in playing a match play event and you come in and you've got it 2 or 3 down, it might be a proper time to go ahead and take that gamble or take that shot. But if you're playing a stroke play event, you've got it even par 1 over. If you've come into this hole, you know, it's best to take the safe way out. Hit out to the 100-yard markers, which are about 170 yards away, and then play the safe shot in, make your 4 and leave. The other 17 holes that are on this golf course, I think this one here that we've chosen today has got to be probably one of the holes that basically give you everything that we have here at the Shattuck. And why I say that, you've got the water, the bunkers, the tight landing area. Basically, you can't attack this golf course.
All right, I'll tell you what, let's try to tame this bad boy out here.
Let's do it.
Why don't you show me the way, and we'll put a little wager on this. How about we'll play for a Coke. You got to give me a stroke, of course.
There you go.
All right. Show me the way.
And you're hitting the driver pretty good now, Gene. You've been hitting it pretty good.
What do you have in your hands there now?
I've got a 3-iron. I'm not going to, temptation is not involved with this shot.
He's playing it safe. Oh, perfect. That's why you're the pro. What do you figure you have in from there?
About 90 yards, 85, 90 yards.
All right, well, I'm going to take that driver out and hope it doesn't get me in any trouble. See if I can follow your lead.
Okay, great shot.
Yeah, that looks like that's going to play. Just a moment, we're going to join you on the other side of the hazard as we play our way into the green. But right now, we're going to send you to the Pembroke Country Club and join Chip Johnson. Golf basics are more than just swinging a club. They are etiquette, dress, and how to play the game at an enjoyable pace. These things are what makes the game so pleasurable. Now, a lot of new golfers are ignorant to these basics. You know who I mean. You've seen these characters, these mooks, playing in front of you. Pembroke Country Club head professional Chip Johnson helps his friends, former Boston Bruin Chris Nilan and radio personality Tom Doyle, understand the right and wrong ways to do things on the golf course.
Chip, what are you doing?
I'm marking my ball.
Why?
Well, they got a blind shot coming up here, and, you know, you just can't see where it lands.
Blind shot.
Blind shot. Blind shot is when you close your eyes and you hit the ball, isn't it?
Like that. It's like
See where it lands.
So you hit.
Hey, you guys do what you want.
You don't need to mark your ball. Come on, let's
Mark your ball. I mark the ball.
Let's go.
I mark the ball when I hit the tree, Chip.
Yeah, like every hole.
Not a problem marking the ball.
So
You need a magic marker. I need a tree.
That last great putt he had, that must mean I'm up, right?
What's the yardage on this hole?
Looks like about 133, Chris.
Well, can you see the flag? Which way is the wind blowing?
That way.
Okay, that way. All right, good enough. All right, boys, little surprise here. Closest to the pin.
Little surprise if you
Yeah.
get it halfway to the green.
Knuckles is wielding a 4-iron into the wind, okay?
Yeah.
Closest to the pin wins the lottery ticket, okay? Instant millions. You want the instant millions, you got to get it closest to the pin, okay? Knuckles is up, and I'm going to take a nice smooth swing here. Little fat, but I'm up there.
Look, it's there. It's
It's
going.
there, you know it.
Nice.
Let's see you beat that one, Doyle. Don't let those leaves bother you.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
It's right at it.
inside of me. Might be inside of me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Inside of me.
Right there.
Could
It's here.
be.
Oh,
What a
jeez.
shot.
Just in case of my shoulder.
Unbelievable.
You guys hit it pretty good right there.
All right. Now,
Come on, Chipper.
now it's time for Chip to get up there. If he wins the lottery ticket here, you got a split. If he wins $1 million.
All right. Shut up, meathead. Look at this. Wow, he's there. Oh, well,
He might be a little long.
he
long.
cut it. He
I
cut
think
it.
a little long.
I can't
Chipper,
beat you guys,
I
though.
think you're a little long. Me and Doyle are there. Huh, Tommy? Whose ball's this?
That
It's
looks
gotta
like
be
mine.
Chip's. It's got the mark, right?
Yeah, he marked it back on the tee for sure. He marked it with the magic marker.
Well, there's one up here by the flag.
Well, where's the other one?
That's
It's
gotta
got-
be you.
There's
I'm
two of
probably
them.
in the cup, right?
Well, I'll take that shot in. No way.
I'm
No
in
way.
the cup.
You're not in the cup.
Titleist 5. That's my ball.
But I played a Titleist 5, Tommy.
No, I had a Titleist 5 though.
I'm telling you, I played a Titleist 5. We both did. You seen our
great.
balls
This
off the
is
tee?
beautiful.
Yeah. I got bad news
Titleist
for you guys, though. If
What?
you guys can't identify your ball, all right, you got to both go back to the tee.
No, well, come on.
No way. The sun's gonna go down.
Yeah, but I think there's an easy way we can figure this out.
What?
What's the ruling?
Who's playing the yellow ball?
Rule 6-5 and Rule 12-2 state that, quote, the responsibility for playing the proper ball rests with the player. Each player should put an identification mark on his ball. It's a harsh rule. Losing a ball and taking a 2-stroke penalty after hitting the best shot of your career seems unfair. However, you can avoid falling victim to this rule easily enough. Just take a pen and mark your ball.
I think I played the yellow ball. I thought you played a... Hey, I know I played it. It was a yellow ball. I played the yellow ball. I did. I found it in the woods last hole. Remember I hit my drive out of the woods? I found that one. Titleist 5 in the woods. It's my ball. See ya.
Well, I'm in better shape than I thought, at least in terms of distance. I've only got about 85 yards into the hole here, but I didn't completely take the hazard out of play. What's your suggestion on how I should try to get in from here?
Well, as you said, Gene, you still have the hazard in play. Sam Snead said probably at one time he was asked what the most difficult shot in golf was, and he said the shot that he had to hit away from the flagstick. And you have that right now. So the best shot for you right here, you've got to take and get over the hazard,
Right.
stay to the left of those bunkers to the right, put it in the center of the green, keep it there.
So I'm thinking center of the green. I remember Jody Mudd was playing the Players' Championship a few years ago, and on the famous 17th hole, the island green, the pin was tucked back into the right, and he wound up hitting one within, I'd say, 8 feet of the stick. And people said, gee, Jody, what a brave shot. But he said, hey, I actually missed that. I was aiming for the center of the green, and I missed it. So if you aim center and you miss, you still might come out all right.
That's right, center of the green.
All right, center of the green, 85 yards. Just pop it right up there. Putt for my birdie. Got my 5th one today. Yeah, left it out. Ooh, nice kick though.
Not
All right,
bad.
so I'm on the fringe.
Good. Right on the edge. Still in
Okay.
play.
Remember, we're at Shattuck, so
That means a lot at the Shattuck
that's right.
to be in play.
I'm not in a hazard or in any trouble.
You're all set.
Now, you're in a little better shape than I was in terms of distance, obviously, and also you've taken the hazard out of play on the left here better than I did.
Correct. Yeah, I've got pretty much a straight shot in.
Are you going to go in high here? What's your approach going to be?
I'm going to try to hit it in a little bit lower. Land it on the front, try to run it up into the green. As you can see, I don't want to fly anything in. We have hazard again behind the green. We've got it left of the green, got the bunkers to the right. So there's still a lot of trouble there, and the majority of the open area that I have, or the less trouble that I have, is right here in front of me between me and the flagstick.
So it's a good, smart way to play it. Let's see
Try
how
to
it works
play it
out for you.
low? Okay.
Go get him, Lyman. Oh, very nice. Coming right into the cup, too. You're a money player, Lyman. I don't know. Looks like that Coke is going to be yours.
I'm getting kind of thirsty.
We're going to find out who wins this hole in just a moment. Right now, though, we're going to join Paul Harber for pinpoints. He's going to tell us about a grave situation in Rhode Island.
Golf is a game for a lifetime. That's what the PGA claims. But there are some who would like to make it last a little longer. Hi, I'm Paul Harber. We're at Montop Country Club in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, where they have made it last a little longer. When a member passes on at Thorny Lee in Brockton, Massachusetts, the club plants a tree for him. At Wollaston Golf Course in Milton, they carve his name in a grill room table. Sam Volpe and wife Ethel sleep for eternity. They're in a mausoleum on the 18th tee at Round Hill on Cape Cod. And then there's Dr. Leonard Buck of Portland, Maine. He isn't dead yet, but he has purchased his gravestone. His epitaph, "I'd rather be golfing." But here at Montop, they're preoccupied with mortality. All you have to do is look at the club insignia. There's a golf flag, a pear tree, a shaft of wheat, and yes, tombstones. A few years ago, one Montop member wanted to be buried in the golf course, but the town of Portsmouth wouldn't permit it. However, it allowed his ashes to be interred in a sorrow tree planted between the 11th tee and the 16th green. It cost him $2,000, but I don't think he misses it now. That isn't why gravestones are part of the club logo. When you play the 17th hole, you realize why. If you dub your tee shot, you could wind up in the middle of an 18th century cemetery. Yes, there is a burial plot on the fairway. That's a different sort of hazard. Montop was an old New England farm and pear orchard before it became a golf course in the roaring 20s. In the 60s, it expanded from 9 to 18 holes. So what did they do? They built the 17th hole around the old cemetery. Who's buried here? The Rhode Island Historical Society isn't sure. All they know is it's 200 years old, and there are 8 bodies buried in this 20-foot by 20-foot lot. You can hardly make out the names. One that you can read states, Lewis Green, son of Reuben T. and Jane E. Green, 9 months and 5 days, October 3rd, 1811. There have been stories about ghosts in the clubhouse, babies crying and cooing in the attic. Members say they are the spirits of those who are buried in the cemetery. So, if you hit your ball into the cemetery on the 17th hole at Montop, tread softly. I'm Paul Harber, and that's this week's Pinpoints.
Hi, I'm Bob Halloran, and this week's Greens of Envy brings us to the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts. Only the privileged can call this their home course. It's made up of the oldest and richest families of Boston. Built in 1882, golf wasn't played here until 1893, over 100 years ago. The primary activity in the early days of the country club was horse racing. Proper Bostonians took their carriages from their fashionable Beacon Hill homes to the country club in rural Brookline on weekends to attend the races. In the early 1890s, as golf began to make inroads in New England, 3 club members, Arthur Honeywell, Lawrence Curtis, and Roger Bacon, convinced the country club to add a golf course. The club appropriated $45.50 to build the first 6-hole layout. 2 of the 6 holes crossed through the racetrack, which was situated right here, near the sprawling clubhouse. From the beginning, it caused friction between the horse riders and golfers. Horsemen thought they had the right of way because golf was the newcomer at the club. However, in 2 years, the game took hold at the country club. They hired a full-time professional and they expanded the golf course. When the United States Golf Association was founded in 1894, the country club was one of the 5 charter members. 6 presidents of the USGA came from the country club. It's been the site of so many historic tournaments. 13 USGA championships have been held. More are certain to follow. Becoming a member of the country club demands close scrutiny. You need letters from as many as a dozen members supporting your application. However, the club is a bargain. It's more expensive to belong to other clubs in the Boston area than the country club. For instance, to be a member at Belmont, the initiation fee is $20,000. You can expect to pay another $8,000 a year in dues and fees. Winchester, Blue Hill, and neighboring Braeburn are all more expensive than the country club, too. The country club, though, is bigger and more than just a place to play golf. Besides its 27 holes, there are a full complement of indoor and outdoor tennis courts. There's skeet shooting, a swimming pool, a pond where Olympic skating champions Dick Button and Tenley Albright learned their trade. There's an indoor curling rink. It is a lot more than just a golf club. In fact, most members who join here never golf. There are more than 2,000 members, only 400 or 500 play golf. But if you play golf, this is heaven in the hub. There are so many great holes, they couldn't fit them all into the U.S. Open course. One hole they couldn't fit into the rotation is the par 3 12th hole. Now, this little downhill par 3 was not used in the U.S. Open in 1963 or 1988. It's just a wedge or a short iron from an elevated tee to a small green, a shot of about 110 yards. When Jack Nicklaus saw this hole, he was impressed. He wanted it incorporated into the U.S. Open course. It was part of the course in 1913 when Francis Ouimet beat Ted Ray and Harry Vardon for the U.S. Open Championship. In those days, you couldn't lift and clean your ball on the green. If the ball bounced back into its own pitch mark, you had to play it from there. This is where Ouimet's final round surge began. On this wonderful hole, Ouimet made a 2 while Vardon's tee shot landed in its own ball mark. He made bogey, and the history of golf shifted right here on this green. I'm Bob Halloran for New England Golf Magazine.
Well, Lyman, you're in the hole, so I need to hit this putt or else I owe you a Coca-Cola.
That's correct.
All right. How about a little help on reading this one?
A little too much going on this one. I think you're on your own.
Thanks a lot. Well, we'll see what happens. I think it's right edge, but I am not sure. And you gotta hit it.
Oh,
Left it a little short.
a little short.
Lyman, thanks for having us out here today. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Our pleasure. Now, next week, we're going to be at the Samoset Inn in Rockport, Maine. They call it Pebble Beach of the East. 8 of its holes run along the Atlantic Ocean. It's really a beautiful course. We hope you can join us. Until then, for all of us here at New England Golf Magazine, I'm Gene Lavanchy. We hope to see you next week.